What's up guys, Oscar Gomez here from Master Automotive Training, smartautotraining.com. It's Tuesday guys, what does that mean? Tech Tip Tuesday. On today's Tech Tip Tuesday, we're going to be talking about when it's acceptable to do a TSI versus an ASM. Stay tuned guys, Tech Tip Tuesday starts right now. You ever get a car come in for a smog check and you notice that the transmission isn't shifting properly? Or you get a car that comes in and you try to shift it and it won't shift at all, but you still want to do the smog inspection? What do you do in that case? Instead of doing ASM, can you legally do a TSI? According to section 1.2.1 of the Smog Check Manual, a smog check technician smogging a vehicle from 1976 to 1999, gasoline vehicle, will be driven on the dyno. Usually the vehicles that are driven on the dyno in an enhanced area, which is an area that has a higher population, the vehicle is going to be driven on the dynamometer. You're going to drive the vehicle at 15 miles an hour for 50% load, and at 25 miles an hour for 25% load for about 100 seconds. That's going to be the full emissions test. Now, if you get a vehicle that comes in and it's not shifting properly, and in order for you to prevent damage to the transmission, you'd much rather do a 2-speed idle test. Can you legally do that? The answer would be no. If the vehicle's not shifting properly, then you can't run the test, so you would have to abort it or reject it before you even do the test and notify the consumer that they need to get the vehicle repaired. There are some exceptions though where a technician can legally perform a TSI instead of an ASM. There are some vehicles that are actually exempt from an ASM and you can legally run a TSI. One of those would be if it's full-time all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive vehicle that won't go into two-wheel drive. This vehicle, unfortunately, we don't have a four-wheel drive dynamometer, so we have to get the vehicle to run to two-wheel drive in order for us to actually safely be able to run the vehicle. If the vehicle won't go into two-wheel drive, then obviously you'll do a TSI, 2-speed idle test, to perform your full inspection. If the vehicle that you're actually looking at also has a non-disengageable traction control, then you cannot safely put the vehicle on the dyno, for the reason being that you can't disable traction, so the vehicle is going to start kicking, bucking, and jerking, and then you can't run the vehicle on the dyno, so you can do a TSI. If you get a vehicle that has the bed or the vehicle was modified for business purposes, typically referring to construction trucks where they have a big work bed, toolbox bed in the back, those won't safely fit on the dyno, so then you can document that and run it as a 2-speed idle test. Also too, if you have any motorhomes with a GVWR or gross vehicle weight rating of 8,500 pounds or more, the motorhome won't fit on the dynamometer. So if you have a motorhome that weighs 5,500 pounds, then you can go ahead and run it on the dyno. Anything above 8,500 won't fit on the dyno. Heavy duty equipment or heavy duty vehicles as well, with a GVWR of 85 and 1 to 99.99, those vehicles will also have to get a TSI inspection because they are too heavy and can cause damage to the dynamometer. So those are the only vehicles that you can legally say, I can't run an ASM because of these conditions, so I got to do a TSI. If you are going to be doing that, make sure that you document that, so this way you have evidence of what reason you decided to run a TSI instead of an ASM. And that's it guys. Seeing the list that I just provided, you guys can see which vehicles you can legally do a TSI and which ones you can't. If for some reason you are going to substitute an ASM test for a TSI, make sure you guys are documenting that so you have proof of why you did what you did, just in case the Bureau comes by and says, hey, why'd you do a TSI? As always guys, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you guys are watching us here on YouTube. If you're watching us on Instagram, make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Make sure you guys are staying tuned. As always guys, whenever I ask for any help, make sure you guys are reaching out to us to letting us know if we can help you guys with any other tech tip video. That's what we're here for. I want to make sure you guys become the best. The only way we're going to do that is if you guys keep following along. I really appreciate everybody staying tuned with us. And as always guys, a good technician's always learning. Signing off here, Oscar Gomez, smartautotraining.com.